And welcome back to Sports the NEMO Way, the left field episode. Yes, and that's not a joke. We're actually going to talk about left fielders today. Yes, I think we covered this before, but just to make sure, we did split our outfield into 3 different positions, left, center, right, obviously. There was talk of us doing just a general outfield. There was talk of us doing center field and corner fielders, but we just decided to do all 3 positions, try and get as many of these guys in there as we could. And how we did it is we split them up into where they played the most games at. So if you're wondering why we have a player where they are, we went to Pro Baseball Reference and looked and see where they played the most games, left, center, right, and that's where we put them. You have guys that, if they played the outfield, a lot of times played all of the spots or multiple spots, but, Stan Musial played quite a few games at all 3 outfield spots, but he played the most in left. I think it's left. He's in left, right?
Yes.
And so that being said, we also have a guest here today. Buddy is back for, what is this, episode number 3 for you, Buddy?
Yep, 3.
Yeah. So, Buddy, big baseball guy. One of his all-time favorite players plays left field. So
right field.
No, I'm not talking about that one.
Oh, the other one.
Yeah, see.
You said all-time. I do got another all-time that plays in left field. You're right.
Yeah. So I'm sure we'll have some good conversation about that. And
I will make a strong argument for him. Just be prepared.
Yeah, we've had some arguments about him in the past, so I'm sure we will. I think Wade's going to side with you on this one.
Me and Drew were having a side conversation. I missed part of this.
No, it's no big deal.
Okay.
We'll get there. All right, well, I think that's all the housekeeping I have for now. So let's get started. Drew, who's your number 3 left fielder?
My number 3 is Ricky Henderson.
Well,
right.
There he is.
It's also my number 3.
Also my number 3.
He's my number 2.
I put him at number 2 or 3. He's in there. Let's just say he's in there.
Well, Ricky did not make my list.
Why? Come on, spill it now. Let's go.
I don't have anything. I don't dislike Ricky.
Clearly, clearly you do.
Well, I don't want to give away the argument for my number 3 by arguing about Ricky right
We'll
here.
loop back around to this.
Why don't you say your number 3 and then we can debate it?
Okay.
Give us something to talk
Well,
about.
my number 3 is Pete Rose.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The all-time hits leader.
And I strongly consider that.
It was Ricky or Pete. I didn't know.
Well, Ricky's the all-time stolen base leader and runs leader and all-time leadoff home runs leader. So that means something.
Barf. I'm just not a fan of Pete. But
Pete Rose is a dirtbag. There's no doubt about it.
I guess you can be a dirtbag and be a good baseball player.
That's true, because we may talk about another one today.
Oh, I'm sure we will. But no, Ricky. Whenever I look at, the baseball player, I kind of look at it a little bit differently. Whenever I play baseball, I can't hit home runs. I wasn't that kind of. I really value the leadoff spot. So Ricky was there for me over the other guys. He was on base, 400? He had a 400 on base percentage, and if he got on base, he's going to be standing on third. And so, like someone was saying, he all-time leader in runs, stolen bases, and, he was an all-time leader in unintentional walks also. So, he was just an on-base machine, and
he's the all-time leader in walks?
Unintentional walks.
Mm-hmm.
So walks that didn't include the intentional walks, like
right.
Barry Bonds had 4,000 that one year.
Right.
But the unintentional walk, he was, and like you were saying, he's the leadoff home runs. He was. That's one guy you don't want to have on the base, and he always found a way to get on base. And you knew he was going to be on third by the end of the first, second at bat. So, that's just a nightmare. No, he did. Even his power numbers, he still had almost 300 home runs for his career batting leadoff, which that's kind of unheard of. But the one thing that I did notice, can you guess how many triples he had for his career?
No, I have it in front of me, so I don't want to look.
You would be shocked.
I don't know, 100.
66. for one of the fastest men to ever play, you would think it'd be a lot higher, but maybe I looked at the number wrong, which is very possible that I did.
That's what I got. I got 66.
66. Yeah, it's like less than half of Pete Rose. I was like, wow.
That kind of blew
you
my
need to
mind,
run
but-
all the way to third. You can just stop at second, catch your breath, and then steal it.
And that was probably his mindset too. He was that guy. He was.
Ricky was. He's that guy that like he's all about him.
Yes.
So like I don't want to hit a triple because it's gonna not allow me to steal a base. You know what I'm saying? Like
he was very full of himself.
There's a reason that Ricky is one of the greatest players of all time and played for like 14 franchises.
He's very self-centered.
Yeah.
He didn't give a shit about the team. He gave a shit about him and his numbers. But I don't know.
By the way, who had Pete Rose with me? I didn't realize somebody did. Oh, Ray did. Okay, gotcha. So you have both of them, Ray.
Yeah.
Okay. So that means okay.
Oh,
all right, fair enough.
Either way he goes, it's
yeah. All right. Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. I argued back and forth between these guys quite a lot, and to be honest with you, I didn't realize it was gonna be all five of you.
Yeah.
But I knew Buddy and Wade would have him, so I was like, well, somebody's gonna have Ricky, so I'll put Pete Rose on and it'll be fine.
Just to piss people off. That's
well,
So I actually do. I'm not trying to take up a lot of time, but I do got a cool stat about Ricky Henderson. Okay, so after his age 40, he had 145 stolen bases. After age 40, which would be 20th on the active list today.
That's crazy.
After the age of 40. So then he had 66 at 39, and so he'd be 8th on the active list just after age 39.
He stole 66 at 39 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
God.
So from his age 39 season past, he would be 8th active on the all-time steals active players list. Which is nuts.
Talking about stupid stuff like you're talking about. So, no, I mean like
so stupid.
Stupid as in like I can't believe they did that. Yeah, like Ricky Henderson has 3,000 hits. Okay, Pete Rose has almost 1,300 more hits than he does.
Yes, he does.
Nobody in the 3,000 hit club should be 1,300 hits behind somebody. And he didn't play in 1905.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he played during all of our most of our lifetime. Sorry, Drew.
Yeah.
It's hard to fathom. Like, I know that maybe someone he turned to managing and he just inserted himself whenever he pleased. It's like, this would be a good spot for me. And
we really need a base hit. I'm gonna go play.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess that kind of helps too. I don't know if they were allowed to come in and out as they pleased, but I doubt that's the case then. But yeah, I'm sure that kind of helps. But still, even without that, he would have high bat hit numbers. You know what I mean? So it is hard to fathom whenever you think about it. But to me, I thought Henderson, I valued him a little bit more than I did Pete Rose.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that's everybody's number threes, correct? I'm sorry. What?
Oh, I haven't said my 3.
Oh, you said Henderson was your 2, didn't you?
Yeah.
Sorry. Who's your number 3, Wade?
Stan the Man.
Oh, he's my number 2.
He's my number 1.
He's my number 1.
Oh, he was my 2-3. He was my other guy that I was kind of not sure where I wanted to go with.
Ray?
Nope.
Oh, Ray, you're killing me.
Gosh dang it, Ray.
I really thought Musial and somebody else would be unanimous. So.
I mean, I thought. A lot of these guys are interchangeable. You just kind of got to pick an order.
Sure.
But I definitely thought he needed to make a list. I mean, we got over 3,600 hits. I mean, Jesus Christ. He had over 700 just doubles. Just under 500 home runs. Almost 2,000 RBIs. I mean,
and runs. I mean, he was like neck and neck on RBIs and runs.
Career batting average over 330. On base percentage, almost 4,200. Like, it's just
7 batting titles, 3 MVPs,
3 World Series.
24 All-Star games.
Yep.
Led the league in OPS like 6 times, slugging percentage like 5 times,
So-
base percentage like another 5 times, batting average 6 times. Like, yeah.
Here's another guy, and we're going to run into this at least 3 or 4 times tonight, where they have more All-Star games than years played. So I had to look. I didn't have to do it today. I did this a couple of years ago because it always used to bother me. Because like Aaron and Mays and Williams and a bunch of these guys have this problem.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the hell happened? Well, there was a period of like 4 or 5 years there where they had 2 All-Star games a season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
read
so
that.
they got 2 All-Star games a year for a few years.
Yeah.
But nobody will tell me why. Like,
Yeah.
what was the point? What were they doing? Like, why did we have 2 All-Star games?
Somebody wanted some money.
Yeah, that could very
The
well
owner's
be.
like, hey, we're making a lot of money from this All-Star game.
Two
Let's have 2
All-Star
of 'em."
games, double the money. When would they have it scheduled to play though?
I didn't care enough to look at that. I
Okay,
guess.
fair enough.
I didn't like get involved in like when and where. I don't know what stadiums they played them in either. If they had one in the National League, one in the American League, I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
just looking at it, it says there were 2 All-Star games played each season from 59 to 62. The second game was added to raise money for the MLB players' pension funds.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh.
then in parentheses, as well as other causes.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Well, you hit that on the head, didn't you?
They said it actually watered down the appeal, you know what I mean, having 2 of them, so they just kind of nixed it. So
So it gave him what, an extra 4 All-Star games?
Probably. It's just really obvious with some guys, like all-time greats, like Musial, because he played 22 seasons and has 24 All-Star
All-Star
games. And you're
I
like,
think like Willie Mays has an abnormal
yeah, Willie
amount,
Mays
too.
has a bunch
He
too.
has like
Yeah.
25 or
Yeah,
26.
something
Like, it's
crazy.
Like you don't notice with just like 4 or 5 time All-Stars because they played 12 seasons, they made 5 All-Star
Yeah.
games, and you're like, well, you didn't notice because that just looks normal, even though they may have played 2 in one season, But guys that made the All-Star team every year of their career, it stands out.
like I didn't get to watch Stan play,
Right.
so I don't know a lot about him, but just reading a lot of things and just looking at the sheer numbers and stuff like that. I mean, yeesh. Yeah, he's just watching the stuff like what you can, and he was a hell of a player. Wasn't he pretty versatile too?
And he played all 3 outfield spots. He played first. Was that it? Just those 4?
Yeah, I think it's just those 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is weird. You'd think if you're athletic enough to play center field, they don't move you to first.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then he went back to the outfield.
Yeah, that's what we talked about that, I think, last week, where he played first base for like 7 seasons or something, or 4 or 5 seasons, something like that. I can't remember the exact number. Don't quote me on it. And then he moves back to the outfield for the last 3 years of his career. And you're like, well, if you were athletic enough to still play the outfield, why were you playing first?
Yeah.
Like it.
Probably just went wherever the team needed him that year.
Probably.
But he's
Yeah.
That's
he's,
why he's the man, dude.
he's 6'175". That's not a first baseman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's not somebody you're like, well, we're gonna move you to first because at least you're big and you can stretch or something. Like no, you're small. Like I mean, like I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. But Stan the Man is obviously a all-time great.
Yeah, like he's in the upper echelon of the upper echelon.
Mhm.
Like he's like you have like your Hall of Fame players, then you have like your elite Hall of Fame players. He's in the elite Hall of Fame. We're in the outfield. We're gonna be talking about a lot of these guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to talk about the big dogs.
Yes.
We've talked about a few here and there at certain positions, but we're getting ready
I think
to talk about.
I think we're going to talk about in the outfield, not just tonight, but in the outfield, we're going to talk about probably 6 guys that have a claim for the greatest of all time mantle.
yeah, probably.
Which is crazy that they're all outfielders.
Probably everyone we talk about is probably a top 20 all-time player, or 25 or something like that. Like
Yeah.
they're all way up there in a sport that's been around for like 140 years. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. All right. Well, does anybody have more than one player left?
No, I mean I think it's kind of cool because a lot of times you see 5 names or 6 names. And it seems pretty unanimous with
Well,
where this next one's going.
well, Ray, are you going to surprise us here?
But with the next one,
Yeah.
Oh God.
I don't think so. I hope not.
Well, you
Oh,
left
no.
Stan Musial off, so
Barry
I,
Bonds, right?
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
who is
which one?
your number one, Ray?
Pete Rose.
Oh, who's your number 2, Ray?
Ted Williams.
All right, thank
There
you.
you
Ted
go.
Williams. All right, there you go. Ted Williams is my number one.
I'm sorry to strike fear in everybody's heart all of a sudden.
Well, I didn't think about it. I was like, oh, everybody's going to have Ted now. But when you left Musial off, I was like, well, what if I assume we all have Ted and we all have Ted? And he's like, hey, guys, I got Yaz. And I'm like, oh, my bad.
So that means everybody has Ted Williams?
Yeah.
I
Yep,
believe
think
so.
Yeah,
so.
okay.
So,
Yeah.
He's obviously a Hall of Famer, 2-time MVP. Probably should at least be a 4-time MVP. Fuck the Yankees. He's 2-time Triple Crown. He's a 19-time All-Star, 6-time batting title.
Look at his career on base percentage.
I'm looking at that right now.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, his on-base percentage is .482 for his career.
Almost got on base 50% of the time. That's nuts.
Insane.
For 19 years. That's and he set out 5 years of his career for the WAR. 3 of which are right in the prime of his career. 3 of which it's 24, 25, and 26. He's coming off a Triple Crown season and then leaves for 3 years and comes back and wins the MVP.
I heard
Sorry.
I heard a story, correct me if I'm wrong, that they started implementing the infield and outfield shifts because they couldn't get Ted Williams out. He's
Yeah.
the one that managers started doing the shift for, and he would just slap it down the left field line.
I'm not trying to be a dick, but I was going to tell a story similar. He has a 344 career batting average and a 482 on base finish, like we just talked about. And he talks about all the time about how he would refuse to hit it down the left field line because he was like, no, fuck these guys. I'm going to get a hit anyway. Yeah. I don't know. It's Ted Williams, I kind of view Ted Williams kind of like I view Griffey. There's so much what if because Griffey is for injuries, Ted Williams for his wartime. If I don't sit out these I have over 500 home runs and a 344 career batting average, and I missed these years of my career. What would my numbers look like if I didn't?
800 home runs.
It's stupid. To think about some of the things he did. I think I told this on a couple episodes ago or whatever. I can't remember the exact stat, but Aaron Judge did something this last year that hadn't been done since Barry Bonds did it in 2003.
I think it's something to do with walks.
Some of the walks, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was the first player to do it in so many 20 or 30 years, and Ted Williams did it for 7 straight seasons at one point, and you're just
you see
that's
you see a lot of the older guys doing things. The game is so different. You know what I mean? To see someone sometimes you don't even see guys get OPS at 500. You know what I mean? Let alone an on base percentage. It's so different.
Yeah, it is. It's to think about. For majority of my life, if you're a big slugger, you bat like shit.
220, 225.
Yeah, what's McGuire, a 247 career batting average or something stupid like that? But he's got a whole bunch of home runs.
You can look at Ryan Howard, all those big sluggers.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yeah. They're not all Adam Dunn,
Sure.
but they don't usually bat very high. But some of these guys, Stan, Ted Williams, we're going to talk about a few more tonight that fall into this category. When your batting average was over 300 and you hit all those home runs, you're like, that's pretty ridiculous. And we're not talking about you using roids,
Right.
Shit.
So anyway,
He had over 2,000 walks also. He knew the strike zone.
You're gonna get a lot of walks if you get on base 50% of the time.
That's right. Shoot, man.
yeah. Well,
Pretty nuts.
I'll put it this way. I said he has 2 MVPs. He should probably have 4. He won 2 MVPs, but he has 2 Triple Crowns. And neither year that he did the Triple Crown did he win the MVP.
Interesting.
Yeah, because one year he won the Triple Crown. DiMaggio had his 56-game hit streak
Okay.
and won the Triple Crown, even though Ted Williams' batting average was higher than his, so his 56-game hit streak didn't actually make him play better. He just did something cool.
Mm-hmm.
And the other year, he won the Triple Crown. The second baseman for the Yankees, named Joe Gordon, that's the only reason I know his name, is because he beat Ted Williams out for the MVP, won the MVP that year, even though Ted Williams had the Triple Crown. And we can't even blame analytics, because we didn't know what analytics were in the 1950s, so we can't even blame it on that. Because all we did was look at average home runs, RBIs, stuff like that.
What were this Gordon's guy's stats that year?
Well,
They weren't overly impressive.
322, 18 home runs, and 173 hits with 103 RBIs.
He's a Yankee, Dad.
What? Yeah, okay.
And then which year was that? I can't remember which one's which.
42.
42. So Ted Williams batted .356, which led the league.
So he was 34 points higher.
Yes. He had 36 home runs, which led the league.
18 higher than
137 RBIs, which led the league.
34 higher.
He also led the league in walks and runs scored that year. He led the league in on-base percentage, slugging percentage, and OPS. Lost the MVP to a second baseman who had inferior stats.
I think the dumb one was when he batted over 400 and didn't win.
Yeah, well, that happens too.
I saw that on TikTok when Ted Williams batted like 400.
Yeah, that was the season before that.
And he still hits like 40 home runs. And
Yeah, he hits 406 with 37 home runs, 120 RBIs, leads the league in walks and runs scored.
If you saw that season today, they'd be making a $1 billion contract for this dude.
16 years, $750 million.
That's right.
And you're stuck in
20 years,
San Diego or Philadelphia for the
20
rest of your
years,
life.
$1 billion.
I mean, like, let's think about this. Like, we talk about, like, the rookie of the year every year, about how great of a year they had and everything. Ted's rookie season, he batted .327 with 31 home runs and 145 RBIs. It's his rookie fucking season. Like, guys win the MVP with lesser seasons than that.
It's a way to get the career started right there. Yeah, I think that's still better than Gordon's MVP season.
I never even heard of this guy, Gordon.
Yeah.
I'm literally, the only reason I know his name is because it's been such a big deal to me my whole life that he won the MVP over Ted Williams when he won the Triple Crown.
Right, yeah, that's just crazy.
I feel like you're just being a homer about this situation.
I am being a homer, but it's still ridiculous. So, yeah.
So is there any stories out there about, I mean, was there any, like, conspiracy theories? Or,
Yeah.
I mean, what's the...
I don't know. I just always assume as a fucking Yankee.
So back in the day, the Yankees
That's true.
won it all.
DiMaggio, Mantle, they won the MVP every year.
The Yankee won the
But
MVP
they won the
and they
World
won the
Series
World
every
Series.
year.
Yeah, they won the World
It's the
Series.
same thing
Yeah.
with the Celtics in the 50s and 60s. I mean,
Well, if
It's
they didn't
happened
win
in
it,
most
the
sports.
Yankees were at least there.
Yeah. Well, that was back when there wasn't a playoffs. Like, once you won the most games, so you played one series against another American League team, and then you went to the World
Right.
Series. Like, there wasn't actual playoffs to play through, which is another thing. We talk about it in basketball a lot, too. Like, all these all-time greats we're going to talk about, like Musial and Ted Williams, their playoff games are not very much. Like,
Right.
guys play so many more playoff
There just
games.
weren't that many, yeah.
Yeah, because I can't remember, was it 04 or 07 when the Red Sox won the World Series. Manny Ramirez broke the all-time playoff home run record. He had the most home runs in playoff history, and like for a career, not for a season.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, how does that make sense? Like, I was dumbfounded by it. Like, and then I started looking up guys like Williams and Mays and Aaron and all these guys, and I'm like, well, he played like 20, 30, 40 more games in the playoffs than them. Like, well,
Right.
I was like, these guys miss the playoffs all the time. So then I really had to go back and look at like why they didn't play any playoff games, and I knew that they didn't play as many games per se, but I didn't realize it was just like, well, only two teams made the playoffs. Like,
yeah, that was it.
yeah.
So you went straight to the ALCS or NLCS. There was no divisional round, wild card round, or
all sports keep adding more playoff
Yeah,
teams
that's
all the
true.
time now,
That's
too.
true too. Now we get the play-in games, and
Well,
we got
They keep adding wild cards in
They keep-
football
yeah.
and baseball.
Well,
yeah.
when you cut out that second All-Star game, you got to make money up somewhere.
I think in basketball, I need to get rid of the play-in.
I know a lot of people that dislike it. I don't necessarily mind it. I watch it every year. It's exciting. You get some single elimination going on.
Yeah, that is fun for the wildness that could happen at the beginning of the playoffs.
I think that's the point of playing 82 games, though.
Yeah, if we're going to play 82 games, why do we need to play
A tournament to get in the playoffs. We just played 82 games.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a different sport. We're talking about baseball.
That's true. Although baseball's, they didn't add a tournament, but they just keep adding another wild card and making the wild card teams play each other to get to the playoffs now. So it's very similar.
Oh, football, it has an entire wild card weekend now where all of its wild card teams beat up on each other.
It's just so they can add a game Monday night.
Yeah.
And don't forget for the possible mid-season tournament for the NBA that's soon coming at some point.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, none of our teams, well, Alex's team won't make it either because they're too good, and all of our teams suck, so we won't see wild card weekend. All of our teams suck, and you guys are going to have the best record.
The
in the
Panthers
league.
might see wild card weekend.
If that happens, I'm going to shit a brick.
You guys are winning your division, aren't you?
Aren't you one game behind the Bucks?
But we got the tiebreaker.
Who you won back?
You shouldn't be allowed to be in the
Buccaneers.
playoffs with a losing record.
Tampa looks like they gave up. Tampa looks. They do. Like they look.
Brady
really
looks
done.
old finally.
He does.
Yeah. Well, it's Fountain of
Thank
Youth,
God.
like I said earlier, just left town.
So check this out. Ted has played 700 less games than Stan, and almost 800 less games than Ricky Henderson. And still, the numbers are just earth-shattering. He only has, 100 less RBIs than Stan. You know, he still has about 1,400 less stolen bases than Ricky, but he probably could have made it. But
Nobody ever said Ted Williams was fast. That's not what I'm not making that case. By the way,
he had more triples than Ricky did, though.
did he?
Yeah.
He did. Wow. By the way, Ted Williams has also intentionally walked 258 times in his career. That's a big number. 258 times. Like.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I just keep thinking about the Barry Bonds season.
Yeah, it's
you know,
nuts.
and so 258 to me is like, well, that's not really a lot in a career. Whenever you think like that season, but I guess whenever you put it in context, he had 2,000 total walks. So
Wasn't there 1 year where Barry Bonds' on base percentage was like 667 or something like that?
It's 6 something.
It's like way, way, way up there.
So do you guys think he should be on this list at all? What was your biggest reason for not putting him on here?
Barry Bonds?
Yeah.
His head grew by 2 hat sizes.
Is it the steroids? Is it the steroids thing?
Yes.
Yes.
If you take steroids away, he's clearly on this list. Like we have to put him on.
Sure.
Like
Well,
his numbers are stupid.
That's probably why Manny's not on the list, too.
I'll be honest with you though, I didn't put Manny, but Manny batted .312 and has 555 home runs.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
That's what I was saying.
Man, I honestly, the reason he's probably not on my list is because like these guys are gonna call me a homer.
It's not on my list because he took steroids. That's why it's not on my list.
So like I was like, anyway, I looked up Barry. So
But Manny could swing a bat. There's no doubt about that.
he couldn't play the field for shit.
No.
But
He could swing a bat.
He could definitely swing the bat.
What are you talking about? I saw him
hell
climb the
of a-
wall after that catch. Give the
Yeah,
high five.
in 2004, Barry Bonds' on base percentage was 600.
Yeah, I knew it was something crazy. Like, it was,
It's so dumb.
what was the walks that year? I know it was something insane.
232.
Damn, in
Yeah.
1 year. That's nuts.
Yeah, Aaron Judge is like, because all the Yankees were complaining towards the end of the year, people started walking, and they said, they're just doing it because they don't want him to get it. I'm like, Barry Bonds was doing this all year.
Yes, they are doing it because they don't want him to get it. Who gives a fuck? Like, they're trying to win a baseball game
whole
here. They don't
strategy.
want him to get a home run.
People want him to throw meatballs down the middle to him. Why?
Exactly.
I'm trying to win a baseball game.
Yeah, if you're a Yankees fan or a Judge fan or whatever, of course you want them to throw meat down the middle. I don't even blame you for rooting for it. You know, if somebody, if Rafael Devers next year all of a sudden has 59 home runs, I'm going to be sitting there begging for somebody to throw a fastball down the middle to him. Obviously, I would hope you would. But to act like the other team's idiots or pussies because they won't pitch to him, like especially with Judge, who is in the second half of the season, every Yankee not named Aaron Judge batted like 162. Like it was some stupid low number, and you're like, well, if I don't pitch to Aaron Judge, I win.
Right, yeah.
Or if I'm the Rays or the Blue Jays, I'm trying to make the playoffs. I need to win games.
Right. I don't give a damn about you breaking some. It's not even a record at this point. It's just a Yankees record because it's not a record anymore because he's now 7th all time on the single season home run
He's number
list.
1 in the American League, Alex.
Yeah, who gives
The
a shit?
National League.
Apparently, you go to the National League and take roids.
I don't know why that is.
And we also have bigger ballparks.
Yeah.
It's funny how they just booed the hell out of him.
Yankee
though.
Stadium is.
Love it.
That's another
Easy-
thing. The
easy
Yankees
to hit
have
home
freaking
runs.
that short porch out in right field. Freaking, what is it? What did we look it up? Isn't it like 300?
What was it?
I think it was like 307 or something dumb. That's a high school baseball field.
Go to the old Astros Stadium and hit dingers straight
The
center field.
Astrodome.
It's like 450
Remember
the dead center with the hump.
Remember the flagpole?
Yeah, the flagpole. Yeah. Oh, stupidness. No, but here's the thing. Not I shouldn't say everybody, but one of the most common arguments I hear for Barry Bonds is, well, he was a Hall of Famer before he used roids. You're right. That's why but you're making my argument for me, I feel like, because that's why it's so stupid that he was on roids, because he was already a Hall of Famer. We all already thought he was a great player.
He was just jealous.
He was jealous of the home run chase.
Yep.
Yeah. You don't break the home run record at like 38 years old after your helmet size randomly grew, like Drew said.
Hey,
Like-
manager, I need a 3XL helmet. Well, why, Barry? I don't know. My head just kind of grew this summer.
I feel like 37's the new 27.
Yeah,
I'm gonna crank 75 out this year.
I got really bad acne all of a sudden. I haven't had acne since I was in high school.
Yeah. At 37, my testosterone levels should have been going down for the past 7-8 years, but now I just put on 40 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, if you just look at it, he's just...
Oh yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like the same guy.
Dude, he was a phenomenal 5-tool player before that.
Oh, he was.
He looked
was
like
great.
he looked like the fucking Hulk walking to the plate, especially when he put that armor on his arm. Everything stuck his arm out over the plate. Oh my goodness! By the way, that's one of my other pet peeves. I think they should ban the elbow guards.
So they can't lean over like that.
They can't
Yeah.
lean their elbows.
You know how many guys? I mean, Barry did it, but Craig Biggio did it. A bunch of guys have done it. Well, yeah, they just lean out over the plate and they have that big elbow guard to protect themselves. You don't feel shit when they hit that elbow
It
guard.
actually extends even further out than what your elbow does. 'cause
Yeah.
It's supposed to protect the back of your triceps
Yeah.
too. So
I don't mind the guys that just wear like that. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's like a little
Like a little skateboarding
one that's
elbow
like
pad.
right here. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just like this little thing on the bone, because you know that getting hit on straight on the bone hurts so bad. Like I get it. It's like it's like a soft pad.
Yeah.
You know, that just like covers the end of their elbow. I get it. Like
it's the one that goes up their whole
yeah,
arm.
it looks like armor. It looks like they're like
Right.
a knight going into joust or something, and you're like, what the hell is this? So anyway, I think we've talked about Barry Bonds enough since you didn't make our list, which will piss people off, but maybe some people will comment.
That's right.
Yeah.
Please do. We
Tell-
want to hear what you got.
Tell us why you think Barry should be in.
So I guess you guys answered my question about why he's not on your list. Is there anyone else like you really considered? Like, I mean, I could definitely considered Pete Rose. It was
Yeah,
more
I did
it was
too.
more preference thing to me. I mean, I know the numbers stand out and they're just jaw dropping, but I mean, he cheated. So
yeah.
No.
In their standards.
No, I just
That
think
wasn't even
Ricky
the problem I
Henderson-
had with him. I just
think Ricky Henderson's like the ultimate baseball weapon. I feel like he affected a baseball
I
game.
want to ask
ways.
a question. This is something I've wondered about Ricky forever. If you're fast enough and explosive enough to steal this obscene amount of bases, which it is an obscene amount of bases, why the fuck can't you play center field?
because
Maybe
Ricky don't want to play
maybe
center field.
Ricky doesn't want to play center field now.
I would say because why do you play the worst fielding outfield spot?
Because Ricky's saving his speed for the base pass. Ricky don't want to use
Because I
energy.
am the greatest of all time.
He would stand in front of a full body mirror naked before every game and just tell himself, Ricky is the greatest. Ricky, you are the
Well-
man. Ricky.
That's what he said after he broke that record. He stood up and they gave him a microphone and he's like holding the base up and stuff. He's like, I am now the greatest of all time.
Yeah, it's like holding the bases.
Yeah. Like,
He's
what's good for him?
Hey,
I just think you have over 3,000 hits. You blow everyone out of the water in stolen bases. You score more runs than anybody in the history of baseball, and you have more leadoff home runs than anyone in the history of baseball. You're just an insane weapon that can affect a game in more ways than maybe anyone in the history of the league.
And I don't care what people nowadays say about stealing bases. It's dumb that they don't have people steal.
Getting on
The
base,
analytics
stealing
say
bases
you don't
is
need to do it.
Very handy.
I don't know how you can turn a single into a double, and some people like Ricky could make a triple out of a single or a walk.
And then if you just make contact, he's gonna score. Like, and, you know, obviously there's some situations, or if you just pop out and it's deep enough, he's gonna score. Or if you hit a grounder to the opposite side of the infield, he's gonna score. Or I mean, like,
Well, a single scores him from second.
yeah.
You don't have to hit a double or a triple or a home run. A single scores him from
Or
second.
if he's on first and he hasn't stolen yet, and you hit a double, that motherfucker's making it around the home plate.
Yeah.
It
Like,
kind of reminds me of Billy Hamilton, the sac fly to
Only he
center.
could hit.
Sac fly to center, except he was on second and scored on a sac fly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just stupid speed.
I just felt like he
I-
affected a game in more ways than Pete Rose did.
I agree with you whenever you say that. I think he was an ultimate weapon. But, I mean, I guess hitting 344 with 500 home runs, 482 on base percentage is pretty ultimate weapon, too. Good old Teddy boy.
Well, I'm not stuck on Pete Rose. I really thought, honestly, this is my personal opinion. I know a lot of people disagree. A lot of people I really respect disagree with me. Both of my grandfathers disagree with me on this take, but I think Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And I think,
I don't know where you're going with it.
and I think Pete Rose has almost been forgotten-ish. Like,
That's what they want.
well, I mean, I think
Yeah.
that's what baseball wants, yes. But, I mean, like, I think if you walked around asking anybody, like, oh, who's the home run king? Who's the home run king? You know, like, you get a lot of answers. I think a lot of people know who the stolen base king is. I think if you ask people who the hit king is, I think you get a bunch of different answers.
I think, yeah, there's probably a few generations of people that would probably have a hard time with it. I think.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's like he has 4,200 hits, almost 4,300 hits. Like,
What was his career batting average?
303.
303.
So I mean, a lot of it is
He's stuck around a long
is a
time,
longevity.
yeah.
I'm not saying it isn't, but there's something to that too. You know, I mean, shit. And this isn't even me poking at him, but would Kareem be the all-time leading scorer if he didn't play forever? No. Like, you got to play a long time to break some of these damn records. You know.
And the way Pete played, I mean, he gave it everything he had.
Oh yeah.
So to be able to keep playing and playing says a lot for him.
Well, here's the other unfortunate part. I think Pete Rose is superiorly famous for two things, and they're both negative. He's famous for betting on baseball, and he's famous for ending a catcher's career in an all-star game.
Yeah.
Those are the two things he's most famous for, and we're talking about one of the greatest players of all time.
He played on one of the greatest teams of all time.
Yeah, he's part of the Big Red
Red
Machine.
was
Yeah.
legit.
Big Red
So-
Machine.
and sometimes, sorry to cut you off,
No, it's fine.
getting into the Hall of Fame is a popularity contest in some aspects of it. You know what I mean? If
Most
you're on
definitely.
the
And
So-
really in all sports, really.
Yeah, if
I
they
mean,
don't like you.
They made, we've talked about this a million times, but they made T.O. wait. They won't let Tim Hardaway in the basketball one, even though he's better than some people that are already in because of comments he's made. Over
He
the
just did
handful
another
of
one the
years.
other night. They brought him out.
He doesn't care now. He doesn't. He's just
He's
pissed
over
off
it now.
about it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what he said, but
That is-
the Warriors brought him back for something special the other night.
Yeah. He
And-
talked shit about
TMZ
someone,
maybe?
I think.
And what's up?
oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying they brought him back for something, and while he was interviewing, he said something, and they're like, "Bro, like you can't say that," and then like he had to come out and apologize, and I was like, "Dude, Tim, can you shut up for a while, bro?"
Well, he's been retired for what, 15, 20 years?
I mean,
Maybe
he,
It's been a
15.
while,
he
yeah.
retired in what, the late '90s?
I want to say early 2000s, probably.
Because he was playing with Alonzo when they had all those battles with the Knicks in the playoffs.
Yeah. But, I mean, he was a great point guard, and he's better than some guys that have made the Hall of Fame. But they won't let him in because it's
Is he better than Bob Cousy?
Yes. Yes, he is.
So if you think Rose should be in the Hall of Fame, do you think Bond should be in the Hall of Fame?
No.
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 I don't think the reason I have a very distinct opinion on Rose because Rose cheated as a manager and not a player. And that's where I draw a line. Like, if you don't want to, like, okay, he's an all. If you told me that he's not in as a manager, I'd be like, okay, you know, like if Bobby Cox got caught cheating while managing and they didn't let him in as a manager, fine, I'm cool with that. I just think he's an all-time great player. He got caught cheating as a manager, so let him in as a player. That's where I'm at with it.
I agree with your opinion, but I can also see how some people will just try to hold the line of if you cheat, and you're not getting in. We got to hold the standard. If you cheat, you're just not getting in, and that's final. Because then, if say like they let Pete Rose in, then the people that want Barry Bonds and Sosa and McGuire and all these other guys in are gonna push even harder and be like, well, this guy cheated, but you're not letting our guys in now.
Well, I think if you let Pete Rose in, the next person that will be let in is McGuire. What he was doing at the time was legal.
Yeah.
And he had it in his locker, and he wasn't trying to hide it.
No one ever talks about that, though.
No one
No
talks
one
about
ever talks
McGuire. What
about
he
it.
was doing at the time was legal.
Yeah.
It's banned now.
No one ever brings that up.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's another case to be let in the Hall of Fame that's worse than all of these, though, and it's Shoeless Joe.
Oh yeah.
Shoeless Joe's case is ridiculously good because, yes, the Black Sox as a team were caught throwing the World Series. But Shoeless Joe Jackson batted .375 with home runs and RBIs, I can't remember those numbers, and committed 0 errors. How do you throw a game hitting that well and not committing errors? How do you throw series that way?
He didn't throw it.
Right, exactly. Shoeless Joe Jackson should be in the Hall of Fame.
the other 8 guys did.
Right. The other 8 guys should, okay, they're banned. But none of them were good enough to get in the Hall of Fame, though. That's why they were trying to make more money outside the game.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tricky.
And
Anyway.
Sosa got caught doing other stuff just to add on to the 3
He was
main.
a cork bat and juicing
yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah, he was doing. Well, he was so small.
So,
He was-
so
Not when he got done, he wasn't.
No, not when he got.
No, he was not.
now he's. Yeah, I'll leave it alone.
Didn't his cork back get caught? Didn't someone break it while he was batting?
Yeah, he did.
He
broke it.
He broke it and it skipped out on the field. You could see this red dowel down the middle of it. Like I remember it on
Picked it up
ESPN.
and was looking at it.
Yeah.
It's like, uh-oh.
Now he looks completely
That was my
different.
batting practice bat. I don't know how it got there.
hmm And then when they took him to Congress, he said he didn't speak English.
It's the ultimate argument, really.
You've been giving interviews for your
No,
18-year every game for your 18-year career in English, but now that you're in front of Congress, I don't speak English.
Yeah.
Remember what Jimmy said about Manny Ramirez?
Yes. Yeah. Whenever
Oh,
whenever anybody would come up and ask Manny, kids, anybody would ask Manny for an autograph or picture or anything, no habla. As soon
No
as
inglés.
a hot woman would walk up to him, he spoke perfect English.
baby.
Yeah, Jimmy told us that a long time ago, didn't he?
Yeah, he told us that. Yeah, when
Yeah.
right after he got here.
I'm a professional athlete.
All right. Well, I guess
So-
we've.
Ray, do you have a deal in mind here?
No, because there's no deal to be made. The only thing we can do.
Oh, no.
We've kind of cornered Ray.
Well, the only thing we can do is Alex goes to Henderson and I go to Musio. I can't do any wild magic tricks this week.
Well, I guess he just needs to do it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Cut
Well,
the
there we
trivia.
All right.
Ricky, you did it, Ricky.
You're the greatest, Ricky.
You're the greatest, Ricky.
So for the listeners, the left field 3 greatest left fielders of all time are as follows. I about said their position before I said their name. We already established the position they play. Ricky Henderson, Stan Musial, and Ted Williams. So we have a Red Sox, a Cardinal, and
The rest of the league.
okay, let me ask you guys this. When you think Ricky Henderson, what team do you think of? I think of Oakland, personally.
Yeah,
Oakland,
Oakland.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oakland.
Definitely Oakland. Yeah.
Oaktown.
For some reason, him in a Yankees uniform pops in my head second, but probably just because it's a Yankee uniform. And where do you win his World Series championships at? Didn't he win?
Oh, in Oakland, right?
Oakland.
Both of them?
Did they both
They're
come
both
out?
there?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. No.
Pretty sure, anyway.
Well, let me ask you guys this. I mean, I've already switched over to Ricky, so I'm not trying to argue against him. But, pretty much that whole team has now been busted for steroids, but Ricky. You think Ricky was the only clean guy out in Oakland on that team?
Who the hell knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not like he got bigger or anything.
Right, yeah. It's not
Ricky,
like he
yeah.
really changed.
But he was twitchy as shit.
Yeah, he was.
But you think they had something developed just for his twitch muscles to be that much quicker than everybody
Yeah,
else?
that's what they were all upset about Barry for. Was he was taking stuff to be twitchier, and that's how he could wait longer than anybody else in the league before he started his swing. You know, that's watch those highlights of him hitting some of those home runs. He's exploding through the zone with such force and such quickness. It's stupid. Like,
I mean, the things he did while on steroids was like video game shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
What
yeah.
Barry Bonds did was absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. If I took steroids now, I could not do that. I mean, that stuff was insane.
everybody always says,
But-
like, well, taking steroids doesn't make it so you can hit a ball. Of course not. He was already a Major League Baseball player. We
No,
knew
he
he could
could
hit a
already
fucking
hit.
ball.
He was already an elite
It
baseball
just helped
player.
him
Yeah.
hit harder.
Yeah, he was already
harder
like a,
and quicker.
Yeah, he was already like a 3-time MVP. We knew he could hit a baseball.
It pretty much took his body and reversed it by 10 years and then enhanced it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
It turned all his outfield pop-ups into home runs.
Yeah.
You know, it.
Ricky won his second World Series with the Blue Jays, actually.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Should have made that into a trivia question.
There you go.
Actually, I'm going to ask you what teams he played for, and you got to write all of them down.
Ooh.
All right, Drew, you got a question for us, bud?
I do have a question. I was just
All
waiting on us to finish
that-
talking.
It's all right. Yeah, I didn't.
you're good.
That finishes our left field portion of this episode, and will move us into trivia. I apologize.
All right. The MLB Rules Committee. In what year did they alter the strike zone from to make it between the armpit and the knee and no longer from the shoulder to the knee? What year did they change it?
No idea.
Armpit to knee instead of shoulder to knee?
Yeah.
So what? Lowered it a couple inches.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah. Pure guess. Pure guess on this.
Hey, Wade, have you seen the new video?
I watched it last night. I was not expecting a guest appearance by myself.
Yeah.
I wasn't either.
I was so surprised because the credits were on said Wade and Karate Mike, and they weren't in the.
I know. I was saying
I was
too.
like, what?
Me, my Wizards jersey, and my package were all there.
And Bob
My
Cousy,
short shorts.
you're a bartender, I guess.
Yeah. I was a bartender in real life for a very short period of time.
Just not a Chippendale, right?
No, it was at the Mark Twain Casino.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
All right, I got to guess.
Yeah, I got to guess too. Sorry.
I'm going to go with 1990.
Okay.
I put 98.
Okay.
I said 72.
It's at
Okay.
71.
Okay.
84.
1949.
Okay.
49.
Just a bit
Toss me one
outside.
of those, right, too.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
Wow.
I just used my sleeve. We're good.
Way to make an easy one there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting. Question. I had no clue. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't even know they did that. So
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So, buddy, were you really going to ask that Ricky Anderson question?
No, I wasn't.
I am. All right.
Oh, shit.
All four. What?
Name the
No, you
teams
really?
Ricky Henderson played for.
Name the teams.
Yes.
you're not even gonna give us the number?
Okay, there's 9 of them.
9.
A 9-part question.
No better than your question.
What do you mean?
No way.
What year did they change the strike zone of a sport that's been around 140 years? I don't
Not
know.
even good.
I want to hear it, Tyrone.
There's nothing wrong with old Tyrone. My boy Carmelo. I know your middle school name.
Ridiculous.
I just need to look at the MLB teams. I need to visualize the logos.
Didn't mean to hit my head.
Well, I've got 4.
I've got 6 teams written down so far. It doesn't mean they're right.
I mean, I figured everyone should be looking at his baseball reference page over the past couple
I
of
was, but it just shows his numbers and the colors, so it doesn't.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like at the end of his career when he jumped around is the tricky part. You should I feel like most people would know probably half or a little over half of them. And there's a couple where he jumped around at the end.
I'm absolutely certain on
Didn't he end his career back in Oakland?
7.
Didn't he go back to Oakland at the end?
I don't think so.
If he did, it doesn't say it here.
I thought he did for some reason.
It says he went back for a short stint later in his career, but then he went a couple other places. Unless this is not accurate.
I'm done.
I've got 9 MLB teams.
No, I'm gonna write 9 MLB teams down. I'm not gonna.
All right, yeah, I got them. Screw it.
I got 7. I think this is right though. I need one more.
Yeah, I need 2 more. Ray, you got yours?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, wow.
They're not right, but I'm ready.
That last one's just a guess.
You think you got?
I think I got it though.
I'll make you a deal. If you guys get 7 of them, I'll give them to you.
Okay.
Oh, thanks for being so generous.
All right. Well, I'm ready now.
I mean, I came up with this question right before we started trivia.
So how do you want to do this answer thing? You want us to all read off 9? Are you going to read off the 9?
Well, Wade
we'll,
reads off
we'll
the
tell
nine.
you we got them.
We check off who we got.
All right, sounds good. I'll read off the 9.
Okay.
Yankees, Blue Jays, Angels, Oakland Athletics, the Seattle Mariners, the New York Mets, San Diego Padres, Boston Red
Got it.
Sox, and the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Because that's where I remember him hitting that leadoff home run, and that
I
was
got
the record.
5.
I got 5 as well.
I got 6. Does that count?
Ooh, that's close.
He said 7.
I'll give it to the person who gets closest, I guess.
I got 8.
Oh,
I
damn.
didn't know
Buddy
eight.
got it.
The guest that got a point.
Like I said, it's his second all-time favorite player. So, like,
I knew 7 of them for sure.
Honestly, I was just happy I got 5.
I don't remember him playing for the Mets at all.
It was like a 2-year stint. Oh, I took it off screen now. So.
All right, so this is a guest point. This is our first guest point of baseball.
Represent
Are
boys.
they beating
Represent.
Ray again?
Yes, they are.
Ray, come on, man.
Dude, I almost had it. I was
You did
run
do
away.
good. You did do good on that question. I'll give it to you.
If you guys are okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
Okay. Nolan Ryan. Who did he strike out for his 5,000th career strikeout? He is a Hall of Famer.
What Hall of Famer did he strike out for his 5,000th strikeout?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there like a
Hall of Fame outfielder. How about that?
And we're racing. And we're racing.
All right. I got a Hall of Fame outfielder.
Yeah, I got an outfielder.
Yep,
All
I'm
right.
ready.
I'm ready.
I'm not. Hold on.
Ooh,
All right,
baby.
I'm ready.
All right, Alex, go for it. What do you
I
got?
said Griffey.
I
Griffey?
also say
I
Griffey.
said Ricky Henderson.
I said Ricky Henderson.
I said Griffey.
It is Ricky Henderson.
Go away.
Doug and Wade or
Doug and Wade, yeah.
So they asked Ricky about it, and this is his quote. He said, "It gave me no chance. He just blew it past me. But it's an honor. I'll have another paragraph in all the baseball books. I'm already in there 3 or 4 times anyway."
I
In
like
true Ricky fashion.
Ricky's definitely not self-centered at all.
No.
So I got another paragraph.
I think I'm liking Ricky Henderson more and more.
Yep.
Uncle Doug? You got one, sir?
Yep, I got one. All right. There's a couple players that, well, I shouldn't even deal with that. We'll just go. Who is the only player with 3 consecutive 100 steal seasons in the modern era? We're not going back to the 1800s.
I mean, I feel like I should write down a very obvious player, but now I feel like I shouldn't write it down. Like,
I'm writing it down because I don't know anybody else.
3 consecutive 100 steal seasons?
Yep.
Oh my god. All right, someone else just have a wild card because I don't.
I got like 4 people in mind, but any of them could have done it.
I don't think he would put you know who.
All right, I got my answer, and I either I'm gonna feel really stupid or I might feel really stupid. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Everybody got something?
I got
Yeah.
2 guesses, but
I know,
I
I'm
just
going
crossed
between-
one off.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. I said
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
I said Coleman.
I said Lou Brock.
Put Coleman.
I wanted to put Lou Brock, but I put Tim Raines.
That's who I was thinking about.
And I just went with Henderson.
It's Coleman.
Yeah. So all 3 of us?
No, you
I
and me.
I didn't get it.
Oh, I thought you said
No. I said Brock.
Oh, that means I took the lead.
I thought,
You're already in the
I thought you
lead.
were going to go with Brock. I really did. I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I don't know.
It was Vince.
I thought Uncle Doug might sneak in a Cardinal.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. I was like,
That's exactly why.
Because I thought about Tim Raines long and hard.
Mhm.
Because he was a monster, man. Yeah.
What's crazy is like his steal percentage is like 85% success rate.
Yeah, that's a lot higher than Ricky's,
Who's
wasn't it?
this?
Tim Raines.
Tim Raines.
Oh, wow.
He was good.
Tim Raines is
outrageous.
very good.
I looked at Tim Raines for our outfield, whichever one he's supposed to be on. I looked at him.
Left.
Was it
This one.
left? Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, Ray, you got one, buddy?
I do. Who holds the Cleveland record for home runs in a season by a catcher, but with at least 50% of games played at the catcher position?
I have 2 guys that came to mind very quickly.
Yeah, but I'm afraid one of them played DH a lot.
I know.
I know this guy caught. I don't know if he
Yeah.
split time somewhere else, but I'm going for
Can't
it.
even think of a Cleveland freaking catcher.
I got one.
When I was growing up, the best catcher in baseball played for the Indians. And then one of the best catchers in baseball played for part of his career with Cleveland later.
Who are you talking about?
Well, I don't want to say because I
Well,
Okay.
I probably might have the same guy as you then, because this guy played in that similar era.
I don't know if this guy played for Cleveland. Dang it.
I know he had some huge home run seat. Well, actually, I might be thinking of the wrong team. I might be completely thinking of the wrong team.
You can go ahead. I can't think of a Cleveland catcher.
is that so? Is everybody ready then?
Yeah, I'm just
I'm thinking of the
making
wrong
sure this
team.
guy played for Cleveland.
So you.
Yeah, he did. Okay,
All right.
that's
I said Martinez.
I think I was thinking of the Braves. I put Javi Lopez.
Yes.
Sandy Alomar Jr.
Yan Gomes.
The correct answer is Carlos Santana.
That's the other guy I was
Oh,
thinking
Yeah,
of.
good.
and then he
Because-
moved to third afterwards.
Right, and he was playing first base, and he was doing a lot of DH. That's who I was thinking of initially.
Yeah.
But
No, when when Wade and I were
Damn it.
growing up, Sandy Alomar Jr. was the best catcher in baseball, and then Martinez was one of the best catchers in baseball, if not the best catcher in baseball, for 3 or 4 years there in the early 2000s.
no, I really that's my first instinct was Santana, but
I forgot he caught.
I
Honestly, I forgot.
thought he split a lot of time between other
Yeah.
positions.
And baseball's probably the one sport I don't know as many like that kind of players. So like basketball and football, I can go back and you can name some like 90s and 80s
Yeah.
players. Baseball, it's harder. I don't know as many.
For some reason, I thought Javi Lopez was on the Indians instead of the Braves there
Yeah.
for a few minutes, and I was there at the end. I was like, I fucked this up. He played for the Braves, man, in his prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's me, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Mine's pretty straightforward. Who was the first ever relief pitcher elected to the Hall of Fame?
I know this isn't right. I'm pretty sure he was a starter, but
I gotta guess.
I'm not 100% sure if this guy was a complete relief pitcher. It's also another thing where I have like 3 guys pictured in my head, but I can't 100% remember their names.
I'm pretty sure
From
there's
back in the day.
there's less than 10 relief pitchers in the Hall of Fame now.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I don't think there's very many.
They weren't really prominent up until the past, 40 years? Maybe a little longer than that.
Oh, they didn't start keeping track of saves until, what, the 70s?
70s or 80s. Isn't it?
Oh, is that everybody?
I
Everybody
know
ready?
it's not right, but I know he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, something.
All right, what we got, guys?
I put Raleigh Fingers.
I said Eckersley.
my guess is way off. I'm
Just say it.
I put Lefty Grove, but I'm like, I know he started.
I put Rivera.
I put now I can't pronounce his name.
Rivera.
Yeah, Rivera. Yeah, for the Yankees. I know he's in, but
Well, Rivera is a reliever, and he's in the Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
but it's not him. You said Raleigh Fingers, right?
Yeah.
He's also in the Hall of Fame, but it's not him. Who'd you say?
Eckersley.
Eckersley's also in the Hall of Fame, but it's not him.
Ah.
It's Hoyt Wilhelm.
Okay.
Oh, I never would have guessed him as a
Hoyt.
reliever.
Yeah,
Well, here you want to hear something crazy though? Hoyt Wilhelm did not make the major leagues until he was 30 years old, and pitched until he was 49 in the major leagues,
Wow.
and has a career ERA of 2.52.
you go, old man. You get it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Well,
Wilhelm.
after this
Wilhelm.
week's tallies, now in first place is Alex with 6.
Sounding like Ricky over there.
He's waited a long time to say that, buddy.
Alex is the greatest.
Tied for second is Wade and Drew with 5. And then in fourth is Uncle Doug with 3. And then after that is the guests
Yeah,
with
boy.
1.
Ray, just shake your head, buddy.
And pulling up the rear is Ray with 0. Sorry, Ray.
Don't be sorry.
We will have a guest for a couple more episodes, so
I can guarantee it, guys.
so we also would like to remind you guys to send us some emails, whatever you want to put in those emails, questions, concerns, good, bad, ugly, we don't care.
Sports the NEMO Way at gmail.com.
Yes. Also, you can comment on whatever platform you listen on, and
Let us know your top 3. Yeah.
yeah,
Let's hear it.
absolutely. And we appreciate you tuning in for our left field episode. We would appreciate you tuning in next week for our center field episode, another doozy with a bunch of great Hall of Famers. And thanks for tuning in to Sports the NEMO Way.